Spend any amount of time browsing Nikon communities today, and one name keeps appearing in every conversation: the Nikon Z90. For some enthusiasts, it represents the long-awaited mirrorless successor to the D500, a true DX flagship capable of combining speed, reliability, and reach in a compact, professional-grade package. For others, it's just another rumor destined to fade quietly, another internet wish that will never materialize. Nikon fans who follow leaks and speculation closely find themselves caught between these two camps, torn between hope and skepticism. You want to plan your gear upgrades wisely, but at the same time, the idea of a genuine flagship DX mirrorless camera from Nikon is incredibly tempting. The fear of missing out is real. Many photographers who have recently invested in a Z5 II, ZFC, or even a Z8 may suddenly feel left behind if Nikon introduces the Z90. The excitement isn't just about raw specs, it's about finally filling a long-standing gap in Nikon's DX lineup. On paper, the rumored Z90 is precisely the kind of camera designed to stir this reaction. Across most leaks, the story is remarkably consistent: a 33-megapixel APS-C sensor, paired with an X-Speed 7 processor and autofocus derived from the Z9 flagship. That combination alone tells you what shooters have in mind. This isn't meant to be a casual bump over the Z52, it's imagined as a high-density, high-speed DX body built for photographers who rely on reach, speed, and precision more than shallow depth of field. Autofocus expectations are among the most talked about aspects of the Z90 rumor mill. In enthusiast fantasy version, the camera features full subject detection for people, animals, and birds, with tracking performance comparable to the Z8 or Z9. Burst rates of 15 to 20 frames per second are part of the dream, giving photographers the kind of responsiveness that makes a DX mirrorless body feel like a serious professional tool. In essence, the Z90 is envisioned as a mirrorless D500 reborn, a camera that doesn't feel like a compromise when compared to Nikon's full-frame offerings. When you imagine where the Z90 would sit in Nikon's current ecosystem, the gaps it would fill become even more obvious. On the full-frame side, Nikon has a robust lineup. The Z9 dominates the top tier, the Z8 serves as a slightly smaller workhorse, the Z7 II delivers high-resolution performance, and the Z6 III occupies the flexible hybrid segment. DX, by contrast, has been relatively simple and casual. The Z30 is aimed at pure content creation, the Z50 is an all-around entry to mid-tier option, and the ZFC is a stylish alternative. Each is capable, but none pretend to be a rugged, professional-ready tool in the way the D500 once did. Introducing a 33-megapixel, X-Speed 7 powered DX body with in-body stabilization and Z9 level autofocus would instantly crown the Z90 as the leader of Nikon's crop sensor world. For wildlife and sports photographers already leveraging a Z8 in DX mode with lenses like the 180 to 600 mm, a Z90 could provide higher pixel density on target, a lighter body to carry, and a dedicated reach camera in the bag. While full-frame bodies like the Z7 II might dominate on total megapixels, the Z90's appeal lies in portability, speed, and accessibility, possibly even hitting a price point that makes it more attainable for DX shooters without compromising professional-grade performance. That said, turning this dream into reality isn't trivial. Building a fast, rugged X-Speed 7 DX body with a new sensor, autofocus derived from a full-frame flagship, and professional-grade durability at low production volume won't be cheap. Enthusiasts speculate that a price around $2,400 would be reasonable for a true DX Pro body, echoing the legacy D500 value proposition. Others, expecting D500 style pricing, worry that economic realities in 2025 might push costs even higher. If Nikon essentially crafts a Z8 with a DX sensor, the resulting price might be high enough that many buyers stick with full-frame options instead. So how much of the Z90 is realistic and how much is speculation? One of the strongest indicators to date is Nikon's registration of a new camera code, N2410, in China. The inclusion of 5.1 GHz wireless suggests a model above entry level. That single registration has fueled the latest wave of Z90 rumors, alongside speculation about Z72, Z82, or other retro-inspired DX models. Ultimately, only Nikon knows what's actually in development. Patterns in Nikon's recent strategy provide some context. When it comes to serious R&D and advanced feature sets, full-frame models receive priority. The Z9, Z8, and Z6 III have seen the most aggressive updates in autofocus, processing power, and video functionality. DX models, in contrast, have received attention mostly as on-ramps for beginners or creators, rather than as platforms for flagship performance. That doesn't rule out a Pro DX model, but it does mean any Z90 would have to compete internally with possible Z92 or Z7 class updates in the FX line. The rumor of a DX flagship isn't new. Talk of a 33-megapixel DX body, sometimes labeled Z80 or Z90, has floated around for over a year, with early predictions aiming for a 2024 release. Those windows have passed, and as time goes on, the Z90 has shifted from anticipated launch to aspirational wishlist. Yet the longer it lingers, the more convincing the concept becomes. Even if Nikon never brands a camera Z90, the market conversation makes one thing clear: there's a strong demand for DX gear that isn't treated as second class. Many photographers love DX for the reach, lighter kits, and smaller bodies, but they don't want to compromise on performance. The enthusiasts pushing hardest for the Z90 are often wildlife shooters, landscape photographers, and travelers who want professional reliability without lugging a full-frame body plus telephoto lens everywhere. Their wish list is straightforward: a DX camera with the same respect and seriousness that Nikon gives its FX line. That means robust build quality, weather sealing, in-body stabilization, deep buffer capacity, intelligent autofocus on the level of the Z8/C9, and a reliable viewfinder. Of course, the body itself isn't enough. Nikon would need to support the Z90 with glass. Today's DX lenses cover the basics, but the line lacks high-end professional options. Launching a flagship DX camera without a small set of dedicated, high-quality DX lenses would feel incomplete and undermine the system's potential. Underlying the Z90 excitement is also a sense of nostalgia. Many photographers consider the D500 one of the best cameras they've ever owned: fast, tough, and highly capable for years. The Z90 represents the opportunity to recreate that feeling in a mirrorless format. The desire isn't mysterious, it's about experiencing the reliability, speed, and performance that made the D500 iconic, now updated for today's mirrorless ecosystem. But how likely is the Nikon Z90 to appear in the near future? Right now, it exists more as a reflection of user desire than a confirmed product. Its place in Nikon's lineup is obvious, the rumored specifications are plausible, and the demand is real. At the same time, Nikon's current strategy heavily favors full-frame launches, especially with big public milestones like the Olympics where FX cameras dominate. The Z90, if it arrives, will have to compete internally with FX updates, making its timing critical. The Nikon Z90 might be the future flagship DX mirrorless camera that fills a long-standing gap in Nikon's lineup. It could combine speed, precision, and reliability in a way that recreates the D500 magic while leveraging modern mirrorless technology. Whether it appears soon, later, or only as a concept, the conversation around it reflects the desires of an entire generation of DX shooters. For now, the Z90 remains a symbol of potential, ambition, and the evolving priorities of Nikon's enthusiast and professional community.